So the next short take that I'm going to be talking about is going to be about LeBron James' Espy speech. So let's dive into it. But first, I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the channel, show your support. So LeBron James, he basically said, or he just reaffirmed to everybody that he's not going to retire. Okay. And in my opinion, I knew that he wasn't going to retire, just like a whole bunch of other people knew that he wasn't going to retire. Okay. I mean, he made it very clear a few years ago that, he wanted to play with his son, Bronny. So, why is there being any speculation about him retiring? Oh, it's because he lost to the Nuggets. Okay. He wanted to use that as an excuse or as a scapegoat to basically, direct everybody from talking about him getting smoked. So that's what he did. And he decided to bring it up in the Espy speech. And in my opinion, it just wasn't needed. Okay. Everybody knew that LeBron James was going to come back. All right. And I think that, LeBron James, he's very full of himself. All right. I think that he's narcissistic. Now, he's not the only player in NBA history who has grew to be, narcissistic. Okay. But, LeBron James, for the most part, he's the only person who is constantly showing his narcissism. He is. Just think about it. What did he say when he came back from 3-1? He said, basically, that's when he knew that he was the GOAT. Okay. Mind you, nobody in NBA history who are the NBA legends have ever said about themselves that they believe that they are the greatest players of all time. In fact, Michael Jordan himself, he doesn't, go back and forth talking about how great he was. He lets other people do it for him. And I just think that LeBron James, it's going to be very hard on him for him to be able to give up the sport that he loves because he is addicted to the fandom. He's addicted to the media. He's addicted to the crowd yelling and screaming his name, LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. He's addicted to those things. So it makes it tougher for him to get over him not being able to play the sport that he loves. In fact, that's why he's going to play with his son, because he wants to hold on to what it was a little bit while longer. Listen, LeBron James, he's not the same player as he used to be. He's not as athletic. Okay. He takes more jump shots more than ever before. Okay. He doesn't go to the rim as much. And he's missing a lot. He's turning the ball over constantly. And I just think that, it's a lot of, the media's fault for the reason why the LeBron James is the way he is. I mean, what did they do? In fact, in 2019, they put LeBron James in the All NBA team. This year, they put him on an All NBA team. Like, I don't believe that LeBron James was a top 10 player this year. I just don't. I think the Lakers, they played better without him on the floor at times. Okay. I think that Anthony Davis stepped up his game defensively at a very high level. In fact, I thought that he played better than LeBron this year. Okay. Even in the conference finals, the second round, the first round, Anthony Davis, he was consistent with what he was able to do on the floor. LeBron James wasn't. Okay. And I just think that it's hard for people to admit that he's not the same guy. All you just had to do was just look at anybody on ESPN who talks about LeBron James, or anybody on Fox who talks about LeBron James. It's like immediate worship. And then you wonder why LeBron James says what he says and does what he does. As far as him being narcissistic, he worships himself. Now, that doesn't mean that he's a totally bad person, or, he does a whole lot of things wrong. But hey, he can't see his problem. All right. Now, he's a great player. In my opinion, I have LeBron James at number 7 all time. Okay. And I also think that the longer that he continues to play without winning championships, the more and more his rank should come down. I don't understand why people, they point out all this stuff about LeBron and the fact that he's still playing. And they always like to bring up in year 20 this, in year 20 that, in year 19 this, in year 18 that. I mean, did he hire you guys to be our math professors? I believe not. All right. But like I said, the longer he plays, the longer he continues, I think that his rank should definitely come down. I mean, it's not like he's winning all the time. Think about it. Last year was year 20, right? That means that he wins a championship once every 5 years. Once every 5 years. But yet, for whatever reason, people, they want to say he is the greatest player ever or the second greatest player ever. That's just beyond ludicrous. He's a great player. He's a great player. But in my opinion, I think that he's number 7 all time. And it's not an insult for him to be number 7 all time. It's just not. Plenty of people, they have LeBron James at number 7, or some people, they don't even have him in the top 10. I have him in my top 10, but having him in the top 2 all time, I don't get it. But that's what the mainstream media likes to do. So, that's my opinion on, the LeBron James Espy speech in terms of him, quote unquote, clearing the air about him retiring. In fact, I don't even believe that he even deserved the reward that he got. I think that he got a reward for breaking a record for that year, which was, getting past Kareem. How could he even get an award for that? And it's not like he won that game. The Thunder, they won that game. And it's not like it turned around and led to a championship. It did it. I mean, I think that Aaron Judge probably deserved that award more than LeBron James did for what he did this past baseball season. I think that maybe Otani may have deserved the award for what he did this past baseball season. Patrick Mahomes for what he did in the playoffs. But LeBron James, they give it to LeBron James. And it's not that I'm mad about it, okay? But in my opinion, I think that the quality of mainstream sports media is going further and further down. Further and further down. Because basically, this award that he got, it's an accumulation award. Okay? A cumulative stat that took years and years to break. But he gets it for a game that he lost. Not a game that he won in dramatic fashion. He lost that game. So that's my opinion on the Espy speech. And I also want to give my brief opinion on what Gilbert Arenas mentioned about Larry Bird beating LeBron James in a one-on-one. In my opinion, I think that Larry Bird would beat LeBron James in a one-on-one because Larry Bird's game is much more skill set towards one-on-ones. Okay? He's a better post player. They have about the same handle when it comes to their ball control, being able to cross over. All right. But the difference is Larry Bird, he could shoot the basketball very well. In fact, we've heard so many stories about Larry Bird pertaining to him and his ability to tell people what he's going to do before it gets done. We've heard it all. And the reason why Larry Bird was so good was because he said it himself. He went down to play against black people. Okay? That's where he got his trash talk from. That's where he got a lot of his game from. He went to the inner city in Chicago to go play against black people. Okay? He went to go play against the people in his own town in Indiana who were black. And you want to know why? He said, because those are the best players. And that's how he ended up incorporating that trash talk, that swag that he has on the court. So, yes, I would take Larry Bird to beat LeBron James in a one-on-one. And everybody, they all want to talk about, LeBron James's athletics and his speed. Larry Bird, he is an underrated defender. He did get to 3 All NBA defensive teams. And he did lead the league in defensive win shares 4 times. And he does have great anticipation. and he has great hands in terms of being able to steal the basketball. The only issue that Larry Bird has is one-on-one defense at times because of the lack of physicality. But my question is would LeBron James be able to block Larry Bird's shot? I don't think so, because Larry Bird, he releases from the back of his head. Plus, he's already 6'9" to 6'9 and a half. So I think it would be very hard for LeBron James to even get the ball back once he misses in this one-on-one, hypothetically. Plus, here's a couple stories that I could give to you guys that I've heard. I've heard a story when Rick Fox was on the Celtics his rookie year. And Larry Bird and Rick Fox, they were going up against each other one-on-one. Like Larry Bird, I want to say he probably was like 34, 35 years old. And game was till 11. Larry Bird, he got the ball first. And he didn't even move from his spot. And he beat Rick Fox 11-0. Here's another story. Larry Bird, he's on the 92 Dream Team. And Jamal Mashburn and his college friend and Rodney Rogers, they were the team that was supposed to be preparing the Dream Team to play against the other countries. And Rodney Rogers, he told Larry Bird, you haven't hit a shot since 84. And then the next thing you know, the next game, because the first game, Larry Bird and the Dream Team, they did not really have that good of a game, for what I've heard. Right? And I believe that Larry Bird, he basically said, when they came over there, it's going to be a long day to them. And then, the Dream Team, they ended up losing that game. But the very next game, Magic Johnson, he's just feeding Larry Bird the ball about 9 to 10 times straight against Rodney Rogers. And you know what Larry Bird was doing? He was telling him exactly what he was going to do. And then he was doing it. One dribble, jump shot, hit backboard, go in. Stuff like that. And he scored all 9 or 10 times. And again, we know more about Larry Bird's exploits pertaining to him off the court and also on the court, pertaining to his trash talk. Think about it. When it comes to basketball or even in life, sometimes it's just mental warfare. How can you get into somebody's head? I mean, when I used to play basketball, especially in one-on-ones, I was king of trash talk. King of it. I mean, now in boxing, I didn't really trash talk that much at all. I didn't really trash talk that much at all, but I really didn't have to trash talk that much. Okay. But I always felt like, you know, trash talking from the beginning of me learning the sport, that definitely would not be smart for me to do, because you could be potentially greenlit. Greenlit meaning basically, they're just going to throw you in there, and then you'll be the guy who gets smoked, and then you'll never want to come back to the gym. So I wanted to learn how to box. So it's like, I don't need to trash talk. But I did see somebody who was trash talking the first week of them being there. The first week of them being there, had never even sparred anybody in the gym. Okay. And then next thing you know, my coach, he puts him in there with the professional fighter. Okay. And the guy who was talking all the trash, he had never had an amateur fight. Okay. He had never sparred in that ring. Now, he definitely did have some skill. He had some skill, but he had never sparred in our boxing gym. Okay. But like I said, he was talking trash to everybody, him and his boy. All right. And then my coach, he put him in there, and basically he got beat up really badly, really badly. All right. Like, he got smoked really badly. My coach saved him from going out in a dramatic fashion. Okay. Because he was getting ready to knock him out cold, and my coach stopped it. Okay. But he was trash talking. And the other guy, his boy, he got dropped to the body. And he had been doing MMA and all that stuff, but he was talking trash too. So I say all that to say this: you can talk trash in certain sports. For sure. You can talk trash in certain sports. I'll put it like that. But like I said, I didn't talk trash. I didn't really have to talk trash. Okay. I never was, that person who wanted to talk trash in boxing, because again, I'm learning the sport. I want to, learn the technique and stuff like that. And even after I had, got to a certain level in it that I wanted to get to personally, I still didn't talk trash. Okay. Because I had a lot of respect for the person I was going up against, and they had a lot of respect for me. So it's like, what's the point of me talking trash and saying I got over on this person or this person or that person, you know? So, but as far as basketball on the other end, I talk trash all the time, especially when I was, playing one on ones. I loved it. All right. Because it's mental warfare. All right. How can I make you miss? And I would always come up with mad witty lines to get somebody to miss, even though I'm playing great defense. And then I would also hype myself up by calling things just like Larry Bird was. But my situation, I would just say it's going in. Oh, that's bread. Oh, I just made the last one. This is nothing new. You're just in my court. Stuff like that. That's some of the things I would say. And I believe that if Larry Bird was going up against LeBron James in a one-on-one, Larry Bird, he would dominate LeBron James through mental warfare first, and then the post moves, and stuff like that as well. Now, I'm not saying that LeBron James wouldn't score, but if Larry Bird gets the ball first, it's a very high percentage that LeBron James ain't getting that ball back because of how great of a shooter Larry Bird was for his time. And this just makes me want to address what Dennis Rodman said. Dennis Rodman, he had the audacity to say that Larry Bird wasn't as great as people make him out to be. Basically, he said that if Larry Bird was playing today, he would be playing in Europe. That just doesn't make any sense. He also said that Jokic is a better basketball player than Larry Bird. That don't make any sense either. I think it's because Larry Bird, he always got the better over Dennis Rodman. Just look at the numbers. And it's not like Dennis Rodman was performing on these high levels offensively. Okay. He was a great defender for his time, but he just was not able to stop Larry Bird. Okay. He just wasn't. And the Pistons, they were able to take advantage of the Celtics getting old, the Lakers getting old. So they were able to take advantage of that. And as far as Dennis Rodman and, trying to say that Jokic is better than Larry Bird, Jokic is a less athletic version of Larry Bird. Okay? Larry Bird, he's a better passer, or it's about the same. It's about the same. But I would give the slight edge to Bird. Okay? He's definitely a better scorer and shooter than Jokic is. And he's also a better defender. So, in my opinion, I think that Larry Bird would be a much better player in today's game because nowadays you could kind of call fouls a lot more. Okay? Everything's a foul nowadays. It's a little bit less physical, especially in the regular season. Now, in the postseason, the physicality does go up. It does. I will tell you this, Larry Bird, he definitely did go up against the best competition from the small forward position. He did. It's a long list of guys that he went up against that was great during that time. And a lot of people, they will say is he was the best small forward for his era. So that's my thoughts on LeBron James and his Espy speech, Larry Bird, and my thoughts on, Dennis Rodman. And that's it on this short take. Have a good one.